Hi, this is Ted, the real Ted G, and you're tuning in, hopefully, to the real Ted G podcast. And today I have my producer Bing.
Hey guys.
Bing, getting over a cold?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's
No
like
sneezing
learning to walk
into the
again.
microphone.
No. I promise I won't this time. Did we get Lysol?
Yeah, I Lysoled everything.
We did. Okay. Thank
Trust
you.
me.
I
I mean,
apologize for spreading my germs all over the place.
No, and that's a nice byproduct that did happen. That actually happened from the COVID shutdown, the COVID phenomenon. They finally cleaned the subways. It was only 70 years. I mean, if I clean my house every 70 years,
Did you see how black the water was when they cleaned the subway?
Well, no, I believe it. I believe it. I would never have worn these pants on the subway way back when, because I remember wearing a light leather jacket and it just got dirty on the subway. I'd be like, what the hell happened?
I can't believe they never cleaned the subways. Anyway, that's a topic for another time.
Completely. But it made us all a little more aware of, washing our hands, sanitizing, and being more conscious of if I'm under the weather and I'm looking and feeling horrible, I shouldn't go to the gym. I would have never gone to the gym anyway for that. Yeah, but it's a nice fall, crisp day. The weather is finally starting to feel like fall.
Weather's changing, and so is the market.
Oh yeah, the market. Oh, we spoke about that.
We did speak
last
week.
So
how's the market changed in a week?
How has the market changed? What's more important, the market changing or us not?
Us not.
Right. Yeah. Well, the market is changing. The market is changing or possibly has actually completed its change and its transformation. Yesterday we had a company-wide meeting, and one of the agents said, we asked the same question, how's the market? And one of the agents, he just gave me such a great tagline, kind of, and he said, I think it's in the shitter. and I'm imitating him slightly like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
No, it's not. I don't know. No, I don't think so. No, he said, I think it's in the shitter. And I looked at it, I said, one man's shitter is another man's throne. Because I remember people feeling the same exact way in 2008. And I actually avoid drawing real parallels because there are not significant parallels with 2008, but of course agents may have felt the same way. I remember going through the 2008 bank shutdown after bank shutdown after bank shutdown. And obviously agents lost several deals. Brokerages were losing deals, and I guess that can impact them. My claim to fame is I didn't lose one deal. I had one that was holding on by a thread. It was a listing on Hart, and we managed to make it to the finish line before IndyMac went out of business. But we closed, and my Hart was sold to the highest bidder. So anyway, the parallels is I think one man's shitter is another man's throne. In 2008, that's when I ascended to my throne. King, you could either call me the King of Shirley or the King of Long Island Real Estate.
Let's go.
Because why do I call myself the King of Long Island Real Estate?
Because
my clients are treated like royalty.
I'll learn it by the next episode.
Learn it. You should read the bumper sticker.
You have a bumper sticker?
No, I don't. I choose not to have bumper stickers.
That's
that and tattoos. Would you put a bumper sticker on a Bentley?
I mean, I'm like the exception, not the rule. So like, yeah, but like,
I always thought about a tattoo. I just never got around to it.
Me too, but you know what it is?
Like my arms were too small. Now I'm making some progress. I'm getting some gains. So, but my arms were always too scrawny, and I thought, what would I put a tattoo on them? And then I never even thought about legs. And then I see people with cool leg tattoos and even thigh tattoos, and then I think I'd have to wax.
Yeah, probably.
Right? I'd have to at least shave it for the tattoo.
For the tattoo, at least.
Yeah, so
I'm not much of a tattoo guy because I personally my interests change so much that what if I'm 50 and I just hate the way the tattoo looks?
I feel I'd probably do something that would be forever with me.
Yeah,
like maybe one of my amazing black and white photos in the background as a tattoo.
Those came out great.
Yeah.
Wow. And I love how we always change the market. Our studio changes as frequently.
Yeah, it's a little more proactive these days. And actually, so back to the market being in the shitter.
Well, actually, I wanted to ask you a question about navigating 2008. How did you? A lot of people were negative during that period of time. How did you just take it on the chin and turn it around? Like what was your mentality during that? Were you like scared? Was it like?
That's a great point. I have a whole topic for a podcast for it, but I'll veer into it.
Okay.
That is a great point. How did you navigate? I think it's like how you would have to navigate almost anything else that is unforeseen and unpredictable, and maybe the word should be unprecedented. I think it stupid simple phrase. You have to kind of go one day at a time. You know, one foot in front of the other. No sudden movements. No crazy drastic changes. But yeah, that's a great topic. How I navigated 2008.
I think that would be a really good podcast episode. I mean, well, just briefly, like, what was your mentality?
My mentality,
like the day the market crashed, like what were...
Well, it wasn't a day. See, this is what people forget. Countrywide, and I tend to have a very good memory. Countrywide was first to go out of business. Okay, so now suddenly you have a whole bank that went out of business, so there's loans that are going to not be issued. And at the same time, so the goal there was easy. Okay, one bank out. Let's see if the buyer can go to another bank. So it wasn't, what people forget, it wasn't, everything didn't happen in one day.
Okay.
But it was a period of time that suddenly it was like that. Then it was, what was it? Wells Fargo was the only one that didn't go out, but then the last one that I remember was IndyMac, because that's the one that finally closed on Hart. So it was kind of like happening. So you forget that you're in the middle of it, not seeing it all happen. It's happening to us. And you know what the most important lesson and the most important thing to keep in mind when it was all happening? Agents, that's true. We were maybe losing out on deals. And at the time, house prices were lower. And maybe it was, several $1,000s. Right now, maybe house prices are higher, so the commissions are actually a little bit higher. So we're losing out on deals. But you have to keep in mind, a seller is losing out on their next step. A seller, several of my sellers, but one of my sellers, in fact, had his dream house. Nothing crazy or big. They were buying a beautiful little cottage in a quaint little town. And that was their dream, to move from one house and finally move to a house that's going to be their forever house. So remember, as much as I'd love to say that I was just making sure that I was fighting to keep the deal, and that's such a great, amazing thing. At the same time, the back of my mind was obviously, they have their heart set. Oh, no pun intended. Their heart set. And so remember, when a bank goes out of business, and yes, a buyer loses their dream, a seller loses their next step, and they have to regroup. Keep that in mind. That's the challenge that we're solving as real estate agents, not replacing my check.
I see.
Yeah. So how did I navigate? You know what saved me? What I tell my agents will save them. The good news is the good news for me was in 2008, I didn't have one deal. I had several. I didn't have one listing. I had several. I didn't have one transaction. I had several. When you lose a transaction and you have several others, it takes a much softer blow at you. When you only have one, and that's the one you're counting on, it's a lot like putting all your eggs in one basket. So to navigate 2008, I think it's exactly the same thing. That is the only parallel that I will draw. I will draw. Draw?
Where are you from,
that's
Alabama?
A southern draw. Okay, wait. I will draw. There is a parallel I will draw. I think it requires the same exact kind of mentality and stamina, because I think the market has changed. I think everything that we do has to be adjusted, and we have to always remember what the real why is. Why am I helping my seller? Does it make me feel good? Absolutely. Do I earn an income? Absolutely. I'm helping my seller, and I'm helping the buyers. Obviously, I'm very lopsided. I'm more seller than buyer. But that was a great point. That was a great question. How did you navigate 2008? And that is the only similarity. One man's shitter is another man's throne. And,
Just kind of making the best out of it.
it's not even that. Making what we have to do out of it. It's not good, bad, ugly. It is what has to be done. I think people forget responsibility. Maybe what's that? I was going to say self-respect, but that's not it. Responsibility. Like these days, I'm on the phone with slightly different kind of phone calls. I was on the phone with a seller that was. I just moved the camera, but it's good.
Oh, okay.
And they were. I don't want to say the word angry. They weren't. They were speaking on a topic. They were said, we'd like to discuss this. It was one of my agent's clients. And I said, well, let's figure this out. What's my real job? My real job is, I told him, I said, my real job is, obviously our job is to have your house sold. That's great. Our other job is to hopefully make this a pleasant experience. And I want you to feel happy. I want you to feel secure. And tell me what has to be done in order to do that. It wasn't about let's lower the price. We didn't have to. We actually are probably going to have that house sold this weekend. Nice. But when a seller is the word disgruntled or needs to be on the phone with someone, there's other stuff that are probably going on in their life, and it's not a direct lashing out at someone specific. But if you just listen, if you just say, well, what can I do? If it's in my power to do it, I'll do it. We deal with this on the level, the transactional level with our buyers and sellers. And we deal with this, I deal with this with our agents. Everyone has goals. Everyone has setbacks. What my topic of conversation was going to be, and now is the one thing that I got two things. I got more than one thing out of a meeting. But yes, I love that tagline. It's the shitter. One man's shitter is another man's throne. And yes, it's what you did. What you just said. Making the best of it. But maybe that's what we have to always do. Let's make the best out of everything. It doesn't have to be a bad situation. Doesn't have to be a great situation. But if we concentrate on making the best out of it. There's opportunities here. Here's the opportunity. And yesterday I saw at my office meeting, several of my new agents meaning in the business for 6 months or less, and possibly join my office 3 months or less. So that's the definition of new. So I have a total of six new people that are active agents, soon to be 7, but she won't be that new. So 6. So there's 5 of the 6 actually went to the meeting, and then I said, you know what? We're going back to the office because we have our company meeting in one location. My office location is another. I said, let's get pizza or lunch or something. Let's go, because one agent said, will you be in the office? I want to go over some of these leads that, what do I do next? What do I do to follow up? And I said, well, I thought in the back of my brain, she's not going to be the only one. So I said, let's all get pizza. You guys came to the meeting. You traveled an extra 10 miles out of your way. Let's give them a little reward. So we come back, and then they're sitting there talking to me about their leads, and this is what should I do next? What should I do next? And the important part was we always have to remember there is something to do next. So that was all I did. I reminded them with very, very simple techniques. Follow up with this. Make a phone call regarding that. She wasn't the only one. Out of the 5 agents, there were definitely, I think all 5 had stories. So the fact that they have a story about when they were prospecting, and a follow-up or a need or a question about how to deal with a lead tells me that the market is great. The market is always what it is going to be. People sell for very specific reasons. People have to move for very specific reasons. We just have to find the people that we can help. And the promising news, so did it give me a little bit of a invigorating injection? Yeah, it's always nice to know that people are working and you're not the only one out there working. What I loved that they had all these stories about their prospecting. That means that they're actually out there and doing it. And will it happen overnight? Maybe not. Will it happen? Absolutely. And it's not about faith, and it's not about luck. It's about doing. And So that was my tale from yesterday. It was a really fun, fulfilling day. It didn't hurt. I had a good workout too.
Good.
But yeah, and I had never heard. I don't know. I'm noticing that that's what I do. That's what I've always done. Handled people's challenges, because that's what this field is. So I handled some of my agents' challenges, but handling the sellers' challenges. I think that's what the challenge in this new market is going to be for agents. Are they able to understand the difference of are you really there to sell the home, or are you there to help them accomplish their goal? And when you can make that differentiation, it makes this field so much easier. I think there was a phrase that I'm getting out of it. Remember, everyone talks about why, and everyone talks about goals and setting goals, and this is really the time to set goals from a business perspective. And everyone talks about why. Why are you working? And that's true. People have children, people have spouses, people have dreams. I have dreams. I have to actually put better pictures up on that vision board. But remember, there's a different why. Why are you there? And when I'm talking to the agents with their questions about prospecting and handling different objections, and even when I'm talking to a seller that has challenges and is angry about something, it's like, why am I there? I'm there to help them find a little peace, or find a little closure, or feel better about the situation. So that's the market that we're stepping into. It's the market that I've always loved, because it really does separate, I guess this is an off-color phrase that hasn't been adjusted yet, the men from the boys. And that's exactly what's going to happen in the next, I think. And the transitioning markets are always great, because sometimes they last for a year, sometimes they last for 6 months. But this is really the time to separate the men from the boys, the people that can handle themselves, and not just a line of people bidding against each other for a house. Now it's going to actually take some skill. There was something else I was coming. I should probably put like a board up with my idea. But yeah. So remember. Oh, right. Remember the why. It's like so. I'm talking to my agents.
Why?
Yeah. No. Remember the simple why. There's the big why. Why? Why? If I set a goal, I'm looking at my vision board just so you guys know. I'm not trying to find the reflection of my favorite photo in the background, which I don't think you'll know which one is my favorite, because they're all so great. But you figure out you have your why, or have a goal. I mean, there's a picture of a boat up there, but we all know the happiest days in a boat owner's life are the day you buy it and the day you sell it. Let's pretend I set a beautiful goal, and that's my why. That's great. That's why. You have a child, you have, your why. You want a bigger house, your why. But remember the simple why when it comes to working. When an agent is at the door, when they're prospecting, or they're on the phone. I have a brand new agent on the phone all the time. He's making phone calls. He's keeping it simple. He's calling to see if they're interested in selling their home, not overcomplicating it. It's impossible to obtain a listing off the phone, but it's very possible to get an appointment or a lead, someone who may be thinking or has questions. So remember the real why. When you're at the front door for someone, are you there to see if they're thinking of selling? Great, generating a lead. If you're in lead generating mode, that's the mode that you're in. Remember that you're at the door. You're not at the door to tell them how the weather is. You're not at the door to explain nuclear physics to them. You are there for a very simple purpose. I am a real estate agent, and I have a challenge. We don't have enough inventory. So is there a possibility that you want to sell your home? I can help you obtain your goals. And if you talk like a robot, they might think you're a robot, so they'll think that's really cool. Wow, this realtor has a robot. But that's the why in that regard. When you're speaking to a seller or potential seller on an appointment, the why. You are there to go from point A to point Z. Point A is how many questions do you have? Point Z is if it's the right time, we're authorizing the paperwork and putting everything together and getting the ball rolling. Photographers are going to be scheduled on Wednesday. So that kind of why, the simple whys, where maybe some people forget them. And I mean, I've seen people prospect for days and not obtain one lead. And the question you have to ask is, did you ask? Did you ask? Oh, there we go. Did you ask for the lead? And did you ask for the appointment? I've seen people go on appointments and not come back. And most of the time, 80% of the time, it's because they didn't ask for the signature, the authorization. Are we ready to move forward? Real simple. Anyway, I digress.
Made some good points.
Yeah. Is it a boring podcast?
I don't think it's that
I
boring.
don't think so.
No.
Am I a boring podcaster?
No, you're not. I'm just under caffeinated today, and I'm kind of just listening.
Oh, no, it's okay. I put people to sleep.
No,
And then they sign the papers.
And then they sign the papers. Well, I mean, I like the way you were talking about it, because I was having some conversations, the other night about real estate, and I was
Tell
like,
me, what goes on in people's heads out there? What's the real world like?
What's the real world like? Well, it's more just I can't really speak confidently on that. I'm not gonna lie. But what I can say is that it's what you're saying is just simple rules of business. Follow up, make appointments, ask. And some people just don't get it, or it's not clicking. Like, it also comes with age too, I feel. Like, not saying I'm a grand wizard because I'm 24, but like, I feel like I understand these concepts more at 24 than I would at 20 or 21. So there's less arrogance. A little less arrogance. Not like I'm not arrogant, but just a little less. So I like what you're saying, because it's like, yeah, this is all making sense. But it's important stuff to remember too. You got to know.
And remember, if you make enough sense, you end up with a couple dollars.
Exactly. In fact, I have a couple of dollars right here. I make sense on the regular.
Left over from the strip club.
It's actually funny. My dad wanted to take me to a strip club when I was 18, and I was like, no, that's no. And I was never a fan of strip clubs.
In some cultures, parents take their sons to brothels.
Brothels? I mean, like, all right, now that's more my style. Like,
that's a different topic. Maybe that. So if anyone's watching, I'm trapped. No, if anyone's watching, please comment. What topics could I possibly talk about that would be interesting to you guys? And if you comment, I can't imagine any topic that you could talk about that would be interesting to me. I like that.
He said, I like your Riz, kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little attitude goes a long way. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And going all the way. No. So anyway, but yeah, what topics would be out there? So that's why I don't think I see the real world, because I'm in like real estate world. I'm in real estate mode all the effing time right now, between agents, between clients, between my own clients. And it's just, I like it. It's very comfortable. It feels like home. Oh. But I wonder what's out there. Like what people saying, like when people say things like the market's in the shitter. And when you say you were talking about real estate. So it's like, so wait, real people out there talk about real estate?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes.
Okay.
I mean, I was talking to another agent, but like, I was talking to a friend of ours, but...
No, so tell me. Don't say names, but... So tell me the topic of conversation.
We were just talking about...
real people.
We were just talking about... business approaches, and I was trying to give him some suggestions to get more leads and more business. And from my perspective, because I come from a different industry, but these are tactics that have helped me. And really what it kind of comes down to is just consistently, like, just make appointments.
Consistently being consistent. It sounds like... And now that's a good way to say it. You said make appointments. That is not as easy as it sounds. So to the agent that you're talking, because if it was me that you were talking to 20 years ago, I'd have to say, tell me what okay, that is the step. That is it. How do I make more appointments? And we've gone over this. 44 contacts will garner you 11 leads. 11 leads could garner you 3, maybe 4, but 3 actual appointments. So make more appointments. So I don't know if it got to this point in your conversation. Technically, if you made 2 appointments and you consistently spoke to 44 people every day, and you want to make 8 appointments.
Well, I didn't explain it that well. My main point with him was like, just make sure that like when you're at a house, if it's a bad time or someone's not interested yet, but they're kind of interested, say, okay, let me get let's exchange information and let's set up an appointment later this week or next week so we could sit down and talk over, what's going on in your neighborhood and how I can help you buy or sell a home.
See, when I was a new agent, I always talk about, that's the actual idea of a tattoo I always had, to write blessed across my back.
Blessed.
And after all these years at the gym, it might be a nice location.
Do it.
Blessed.
Blessed.
Oh, but back to your point. You have to figure out your banana. And I had a class.
What?
I did a class on I don't think I could do the class today because I think it was a little off color. So you know how they train monkeys?
No.
So a monkey gets trained, and I read this in a book. It was an actual book. So you train a monkey. If you want to train a monkey to turn the microphone on, turn the camera on, and have me ready for a podcast. Goes to tell you, it's not artificial intelligence we need. We just need a couple of monkeys. So they train the monkey by when he does steps 1, 2, and 3 in the right order, he gets a banana. Okay. Well, guess what? He learns that that's the right order, and he gets a banana. He wants a banana. So he knows what, and then he learns what could be she. He or she learns what they have to do to obtain their banana. And that's a well-trained monkey. Okay. Now, this is where I think the class, I love the class, and I think everyone got something out of it. And it wasn't just a banana. So agents have to be trained the same way. So my banana is a listing, right? So I figured out early on what I needed to do to get the listing. So I learned how to obtain my banana. So I learned steps 1, 2, 3, 4. Banana. 1, 2, 3, 4, banana. Then, whenever I need a banana, I have to always remember to go back to steps 1, 2, 3, 4. Agents forget that. I guess everybody could forget it. But if you are good at obtaining a banana in a certain way, following steps 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, whatever it happens to be, then you will obtain your banana. So the trick to real estate, in my opinion, to becoming successful in real estate and consistent, is to always know what gets you your banana. Finding your banana. That was the name of my class. They all walked out of there with a little monkey and a banana, holding a banana on a keychain. They all had, if I do nothing if it's not branding. So find your banana. So your friend, who I know who you're talking about, needs to find his banana. What causes success? And repeat it. It's actually probably the simplest thing, and I don't think I'm a genius for saying it, but I think I'm a genius for other things. But it's so simple. It's beautiful. It's find your banana, and always remember to repeat the steps it took you to get your banana. Don't focus on how I get my bananas. Focus on how you can get your bananas. So, because no one likes other people's hands on their banana. Well, that's not true either, is it? But yeah, focus on finding your banana. That was the name of the class. Find your banana. Find your banana.
I love you, man.
I mean, I don't want to be left holding my banana. I don't want to be here with my banana in my hand.
Hey,
I want a listing.
Yo.
The successful agents that I know, the successful agents that I've trained, the successful agents that are still around after 150 years know exactly how to get their banana. And they repeat it. And I guess this is Ted. This is the Real Ted G podcast. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook,
Spotify, and
TikTok. TikTok, time is running out. My biological clock is going like this. All right. Thank you, Bing.
Thank you, sir.